League of Legends is part of a wave of competitive game types referred to as MOBA by its creator, which is an acronym for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, and may also be referred to as Action Real-Time Strategy. It is a subgenre of RTS games where players control one hero on a team with the objective to destroy the opposing team's base. It is a completely free-to-play PC game that can be downloaded from LeagueofLegends.com. Start with Riot's tutorial on their website and in-game to learn the basics of how to play and how to control the characters.
Agreed.
Instead of duplicating the information they provide, we're going to focus on aspects of the game left uncovered by the game developers. As League of Legends does not have a single-player mode and is often played online with a bunch of strangers, certain conventions have developed in the community that are helpful to know prior to entering your first game. Not all players will use these terms, especially if you're starting in AI games and are matched with similar level of people, but as you advance into higher levels you will see these terms more and more. The beginning of the game is referred to as the laning phase, as this is where champions start to gain experience and gold. To win your lane, you will want to kill more creeps than your opponent, harass them out of lane such that you deny them experience, and most importantly, don't die. Dying to an opponent rewards them experience and gold, and continuous dying is called feeding. The level and item disparity that results from feeding makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to win games, so be careful. If you're in a situation where it is unsafe and you've been out-leveled, farm under your tower by scoring the last hit on incoming minions. Last hitting a creep means to deal the final damage to them, and this earns you additional gold. This is especially important for item-dependent champions referred to as carries. You can also check how you're doing by looking at your CS or creep score in the scoreboard menu by holding down tab in-game. The laning phase is one of the most difficult to learn and will take time to grow accustomed to. Knowing when to be aggressive and commit to a fight will take time to develop. You do not wish to overextend and put yourself in a situation where you will die and fail to take an enemy down with you. Also, learning when it is okay to trade damage and when you come out on top of the exchange will require knowledge of what the other champions are capable of. So be sure to play around with all the free champions that are on rotation for each week, even if their playstyle doesn't appeal to you. Knowing what they can do from first-hand experience will better equip you to facing them in-game. Anytime that you send an enemy champion back to base, either by killing them or bullying them out of the lane, you will want to push your lane and base. Translated, this means that you will want to help your minions kill the incoming wave such that they reach the enemy's turret and you recall back to your base to buy. As your opponent has had the opportunity to purchase items, you will also want to use your income to pick up pieces to remain competitive in lane. While the basic mechanics of League of Legends is simple, the game is remarkably complex. Judgment calls are made at each step of the way to determine when it's okay to go back, when you need to stay and defend, and when sacrificing yourself serves the overall greater good for your team. Games can last anywhere from 20 minutes to 1 hour, though I find that my average games are often in the 40-minute mark. There is no pause in game and no way to leave early without a penalty being tossed on you for being a leaver, so make sure that you have sufficient time to sit down and dedicate to an entire game before beginning. League of Legends is a fast-paced, intense action game that places a heavy emphasis on teams. It is currently the most played game in the world based upon hours played per day, with a professional league that sees over 1 million concurrent viewers during large tournaments. Other titles like it include Dota 2, Heroes of Newerth, and Blizzard All-Stars. One warning is that due to the highly competitive nature of these games, the community has its share of caustic players from trolls to jerks and everything in between. Riot has taken measures to attempt to curb this trend and encourage friendly teamwork, and as such is a good starting place for someone new to this style of game.